Hello, welcome to another knot tying video. Today isn't so much actually a knot, it's actually a splice. I want to show you guys a back splice or a crown splice. So essentially a back splice or a crown splice is when you have an end of rope and you want to splice it back into itself so it helps prevent itself from unraveling. I will say in the lineman trade, we don't necessarily use the splice in any way, shape, or form, only because sometimes if you do the crown splice, it does make your working end thicker, so it makes tying knots a little bit harder. So a lot of times, especially with 3-strand, you'll just tape up the ends, maybe burn the ends too, and this usually always works just fine. Let's hop right into and let me show you how to tie a crown splice. We'll have our 3-strand rope here. And the first thing I always do is I tape up the ends here. You can burn them or tape them. I always tape them because it's a little bit easier. So I'll take some electrical tape here, and then I always tape in the direction that the strand is going. So as you can see, the strand is going that way, twisting that way. So I'm always going to tape the ends this way. Just do 1 or 2 solid wraps. And this is just going to make it easier for any splice. So these ends don't completely fray out and cause you a whole bunch of ruckus. This tape just helps it stay all together. So then once you have that, the other thing is, I will also put a piece of tape somewhere where I want the splice to start. So I will unravel it, be like, usually you really only need to do 3 tucks. So I think that might be enough right there. So I'll take my tape and I'll do a thin little wrap of tape right there. And that just kind of helps the strands stay all together. All right, so once you have your strands all laid out, and this piece of tape right here, it doesn't technically need to be there. It just helps so the strands don't unravel as you're trying to do the splice itself. So first step is you have your 3 strands, and I always take the center strand, natural center strand, which is this one right here, and I take it and I fold it like so. So I just fold it over. Then I always start with the left strand, this one, and I'll put it in the front like that. And then I take the right strand, this one, and I'll come up. I'll go through the middle strand like that, and then I take this left strand and I go through the right strand. That is your very beginning of your crown splice. As you can see it coming together there, you just start dressing it, pulling on each strands. And there's your very beginning of your crown splice. So just like any other splice too, you should have no strands right next to each other. So as you can see, these strands are pretty evenly spaced in thirds around. So that's how you know most splices you're doing it correctly. So once you have that, then you just start with whatever strand you want and you just start tucking. So I'll just start with the color strand, and then I just peel open a strand right here and I just tuck it. like that. And then I'll go to the next strand and I tuck it under a different strand. That. And then I go to the last strand, and then I find the one strand that hasn't been tucked yet, and it's this one right here. So I'll peel that one, and I'll tuck this last strand. And there you have, I always rub it together, kind of get the strands seated in with each other. Pull it. And there you have the splice itself right here, and then you'll have the first tuck. And then from here, it's super easy. You just go over, under, over, under, over, under. So I'll start here and I'll go over this one and under this one. And then I just go to the next one. I go over this one, under this one. I go to the last strand. I'm gonna go over this one and under this one. Your strands should not go, any of your strands should not go in between another of the same strand. Sometimes it can be pretty tight. I always pull the strands. Now right there is a back splice or a crown splice. Now we can do one more over under. I mean, you can go as long as you want. Usually you do a minimum of 3. So I'll just do that really quick just to show you guys. And that there is a completed crown splice or back splice. So that right there is the crown splice or the back splice. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned how to tie crown splice. Like I said, I haven't really used this in application in I'm like, oh crap, I need to splice the end of the rope. It's more so, this is just a good little tool to have in your pocket if you're in the lineman apprenticeship. I know for me, it's something that we had to do. We had to know how to do an eye splice, crown splice, and a midline splice, and a bunch of other knots too. We got tested on it. If we didn't know how to do it, we had a potential of getting kicked out of the apprenticeship for something so simple that we could learn and practice at home. That's a crown splice. I don't know where else they may use it. If you do use the crown splice or back splice at work somewhere in your trade or whatever you do, please comment down below. I'd be curious. I'd love to learn and hear what other people use knots for and where they use them for. But yeah, basically this is just a splice just to make the end of a 3-strand rope look nice. As you can see, this end of rope is going to stay together for a very long time. This is how we most commonly do it. We just use a piece of tape and just tie up the end like that. But hey, this is something cool. This right here is a little bit of craftsmanship, which you should be proud of, to be able to do some cool, make some splices look good. I think it's a pretty cool little tool to have. So hopefully you can learn from this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because here with Blueprint, we're here to expose, teach, and educate you about blue collar opportunities, things that can help you in the trades. If you want to get into a trade, we're here to help. Hopefully you learned and hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.